remember if there was any kind of cart in the hallway, if Sister Warner came down that hall, she would scream, "Get this cart out of this hallway. This is not a county hospital. Get that."
Yes, she would always say, "This is not a county hospital, and you're not going to
You're
not going to treat it like one."
I remember her,
I
that
remember
part all the
Sister
time.
Warner.
She would always come down the hall and say that.
I remember the time she took the mop out of the man's hand and said, "I'll show you how to mop," and she mopped him right on out the door. She put right on out. And she said, "And don't worry about coming back."
I can remember when she used to make her surprise visits on the weekend.
Oh, yeah. Kind of dressed different.
Yes. Doing it like the weekend we would be working, and she would come down in our department and we'd be doing something we didn't have no business, like our nails and stuff like that.
Oh, no, not the nails.
And she said, "Oh, y'all must be working with that acetone. I smell it." But of course, we was polishing our nails.
Yeah. She was sharp. That was
she was something else.
My husband always said that she was as smart as any businessman he had ever done any work for. It's Jack, you really know. But
I made the mistake of asking to go home early one day. It was opening day at the racetrack, And
my God.
I had a very good reason for asking to go home early. And she came by and I said, "Well, sister, I'm kind of finished up here. I'd like to go home early." That was the wrong thing to say. She says, "There is 300,000 square feet in this hospital. Let me show you something you can do." And she took me over to a closet that I bet hadn't been cleaned out in 30 years. "Here, do this."
my husband's nephew and his wife had a band. And we all knew they had a band, but I did not know they played downtown at one of the local little bars.
Uh-oh.
And his wife's name was Nancy Ennis. So guess who was singing down there? It was me. And she sent a gentleman that we had working here to go down and check it out. So she sent one young man down, and Danny came back the next day, and I could tell something was bothering Danny, and he said, "Nancy, I just feel I need to tell you something. There's a Nancy Ennis or someone using your name that's singing in a local bar." Well, I knew immediately when he said that who it was. So I said, "No, Danny, that is my husband's nephew's wife." And he said, "Well, let me go ahead and tell you this, Sister Warner's checking it out." He said, "I went down last night and saw him," and he said, "I told her, it's not you. It couldn't even be you made up. We were totally different in our looks." And so he gave her the report, and she said, "Well, I'm sending someone else." So she sent another man down, and he checked it out, and thank goodness we didn't look alike or sound alike. But said if she could have only ever heard me sing, she would have never questioned that it was me.
You didn't do anything that would put a black mark on St. Joseph's. Right. I mean, that was just the way it was. And
well, I still use that line today.
Yeah.
There's 600,000 square feet out there. Don't tell me you've got nothing to do.
You borrowed that, didn't you? Just decided to go with
I was
it.
a quick learner.
Yeah. It was a good learning experience, and I wouldn't take anything for it. I don't regret a thing that happened or how it happened, because probably had it not happened, I may not be where I am today either.
Exactly.
Because it was a really good learning experience. You learned to be respectful. You'd go down the halls. You did not talk to each other even. You had to walk down the halls and be quiet and not... But then again, there was always so much fun. Like the medical records was very end of the building, and radiology was at the other. And the pharmacy was down in the business office. And they would hang out the windows and holler and talk, because we knew when she went to chapel, 11 o'clock. She left at 10:45. And from 10:45 to about 12:15, we
wanted to do, right?
we played it our way.
Yeah, we did. We wanted to do that.
But just like we thought we were playing it our way one night, and someone just mentioned her making rounds at night.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Well, when we worked on 7th floor, the nursing assistants would come in, and we're going to do our vital signs. Well, once we finished that, from 11 to 7, what are you going to do? Everybody's going to sleep. So once we finished our vital signs, we'd go sit in the waiting room. She come down that hallway one night with all of that white on with that dog.
The barking dog.
It was nothing nice. She flipped that light on. She said, "I'm not paying you to sleep in the waiting room or sit here. Take the vital signs again if you have to." I'm thinking, oh my God. This was about 12 or 1 o'clock, and you would think, she's asleep.
No, she wasn't.
No.
You couldn't really hear her coming,
No,
but you could hear the
we
dog.
didn't hear.
The
Yeah,
dog.
you heard the dog.
Picking on that trouser.
Everybody was scared of that dog.
Sister Warner had a dog, Missy, a little Boston Terrier. Nice dog. I used to chase it around a lot, trying to get it to go in the house or go in the convent or wherever it was they wanted it. And Sister Mercy had a dog named Sissy. Sissy was blind with cataracts and was mean. I mean, this dog would just tear you up because it couldn't see. I don't think it could hear either because it surely didn't mind. I had to take Sister Mercy and
Mischievous.
Sissy to the vet one time in this little yellow bug. Remember that? And so Sister Mercy's sitting over here, and she's holding this dog, and it's snapping and snarling at me, and I'm trying to drive this Volkswagen.
Little bitty dog.
Half hanging out of the car there, you know. That was the longest ride across town I'd ever made, you know. And then I got to sit there for an hour and then make the return trip, you know. That was above and beyond the call.
She did take care of her dog, and that's wonderful. If you're going to have them, you love them, and you do take care of them. But there's also many, many people she fed out behind the cafeteria.
That's right.
She would feed them. I've seen her just take food out to pour. They were just the gentlemen more than I would see women. But they were, some of them would just break your heart. But she would show so much respect to them.
She'd give them a job if they wanted one.
Yeah.
Otherwise they'd line up at the door, you know.
And it was around the same time all the time that they would be there.
Yeah.
But she never turned anyone away
No.
as far as for something to eat or something to drink.
My sister, she always, you know, she was a really good sister. She was on top of everything, but her charity, you know, part of it was, you know, giving out charity things that a lot of this community misses, you know, and we still do, but to me, one of her biggest things was, you know, providing all that she did for us and for the community.
And another thing to go along with this Sister Mary Rowland, and all of you going to remember this one when you go through orientation, she said, now, if you're here just for the paycheck, then you're at the wrong place.
Yes.
And, you know, thinking about that is, why did I come here? I didn't come here really just for the paycheck. I mean, I need that. But then we all came here because we felt like we had something to offer, which really fit in with what they call the mercy values, the dignity, the respect, and all of that. And it's a lot of what our parents brought us up with and saying, you know, you do unto others as you have unto them. And God wanted us to provide a service. So all of this is what the sisters really instilled in us through mercy.
Now we're doing their job since there's not enough of them, and we have
and
to
that's
spread
what Sister
that.
Rock said. We will be doing their job.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I've told a lot of people, other than my parents, I've learned the most from these nuns up here.
Yes.
You know, about a lot of things.